Hey YouTube, welcome to the continuation video. So in the previous episodes, we replaced the TPLINK ER-7206 with an ER-8411 using the default IP scheme. In this continuation video, we will replace an ER-7206 or any gateway that is using a non-default IP scheme with the new gateway. So if you have not seen that previous episode, I highly suggest you watch that. So when it goes to the configuration portion of the step, you can continue watching this video. And I highly suggest you watch the previous episodes to be able to catch up with the setup and the requirements and the warnings and everything on the previous video. So let's jump on with the configuration. Okay, so as you can see in this screen, I have the ER-7206 with a different IP scheme. It's 192.168.1.1. So the default IP scheme is 192.168.0.1. That slight difference makes the steps a lot different and more involved than if when you're using a default IP scheme. So let's go on replacing this ER-7206 with an ER-8411. The very first step when replacing it is you have to remove your gateway. So click on your device, go to config, and then go to manage device and click forget. Okay, so make sure that you see the forget operation succeeded and do a quick refresh just to make sure, and there you go. So this has been the ER-7206 device has been forgotten, has been removed from the system. Okay, so we now have to remove the cable here. Okay. Here and here. So I removed my OC300 and my switch to this one. Now that I have removed the cable, the switch and the access point will not be able to communicate with the controller. So you might see some errors in here as we go through the video. The next step that you need to do, and there you go, you guys see heartbeat missed. Okay, so the next thing that you need to do is make sure you configure your OC300 with a static IP, because we're going to work with an out-of-the-box device. For TP-Link, it means the IP scheme is 192.168.0.1. So we have to change the controller to be in that particular IP scheme as well. Okay, so how do we do that? So you go to your organization, click global, and you have to go click settings and go to controller settings. So in this screen, and I'm going to scroll up a little bit higher so you can see that. Let's see settings here. So yep, I can see that. So right now my OC300 is considered as DHCP with a DHCP reservation IP. I will need to change it to static. Okay, so go to static. Okay, so I'll change it to 192.168.0. Let's use 100. Let's use 100. Okay, then 255.255.255.0, 192.168.0.1, and this is the default IP gateway of the TP-Link. That's what I'm saying. So that's why we're changing it to 0.100. And you can use any public DNS server in here. If you like your ISP's DNS server, that's okay as well. Okay, so click save. Now it has succeeded. So you have to remember, now your OC300 IP scheme is now 192.168.0.100. However, this PC, this admin PC that I'm using to configure it, is still in the old IP scheme, which is the 192.168.1.3. So I will need to change this admin PC to that same IP scheme as well. So let's go to properties. If you're using a different OS, you have to check with your OS on how to do the same settings that I'm showing here. Okay, so 192.168. So now 0. Let me select 75 here, and then let me select 0.1. It's the same gateway. and then I'll select the same DNS server, then click OK, and then click OK. And now I should see 0.75 here. That's good. And click close. So to be able to check whether we have the correct settings so far, all we have to do is just ping our controller 192.168.0.100. It is replying. Pretty cool. That is good. Okay, so now that we have done that, what we need to do now is connect the OC300, this one, okay, to the rightmost port of the ER-8411. For TP-LINK, the rightmost port is almost always the LAN port. It's almost always the LAN port. So I'm transferring it here. Okay. There you go. Connected it there. And then I'm going to transfer one of the WAN cable as well. Again, for the TP-LINK, the leftmost connector, this one, is almost always the WAN port. Okay, there you go. So I'm not going to transfer it here yet because this might be a LAN port and I don't want to give the HCP IP to the rest of the other ports in here. So now that I have connected it that way, so let me just connect the switch as well. Here. There you go. There you go. I have put back the switch and I put back the OC300 in here. Now you need to change the IP address of the switch that we are connecting. I mean controller that we are connecting. If your screen asks for a login prompt, that's okay. Just log in normally and you should be okay. In this particular screen, in my screen, because I have done this multiple times, it already remembers that I'm logging to 0.100, so it just presented with the controller settings. So just go to your site, and as you may have already noticed that I already have internet in here, and they normally have 192.168.0.1 as their gateway. Like I said, that's the default IP scheme, and they normally have internet out of the box once you connect the one port. Okay, so let's do CNN.com, let's do Yahoo.com, and let's do Reddit.com. And as you can see, all works perfectly well. Okay, so let me just close this one, close this, and close this. Okay, and you will notice that the EAP, the access point, and the switch has been disconnected. That's okay, and it will show us it's still disconnected because it's using a different IP scheme as of this time, and it shows pending and adapting. So nothing will happen here much, but don't worry about these two in here, but worry about here. For this one that shows pending, it's waiting for adoption. We cannot just adapt it because it will be presented with a notification message. Let's just show that notification message. So this one, okay. So since this is a different model replacement, you need to go to the wired settings, to the internet settings, and change it. But if it's the same model replacement, just click adapt and you're good to go. Okay, so for this one, let's go to settings, go to wired network, and let's adjust the current gateway that has been set up. So in here, it still shows ER-7206. We are replacing it with an ER-8411. Okay, so what it's saying here, hey, I have this one ports in here, which one you want to use? So let's say I want to use SFP1, but I'm not going to use that, and one LAN 5. Okay, okay. So what I'm saying here is I'm selecting this and this one as one ports and the rest of the SFP ports as well. Click next. There you go. So since the ER-8411 has more one ports compared to the ER-7206, I don't really have to worry about those that I'm not going to use. Okay, so but I know for a fact that SFP1 goes to one LAN 4 and one goes to one LAN 5. So this one, okay, SFP1 goes to one LAN 4 and one goes to one LAN 5 for for the ER-8411. I'm not using any of the SMP ports. Okay, so click next. And in here, the only thing that's really important are the last two. These two, one LAN 10 and one LAN 11. Okay, but for simplicity, let's just select everything here. Be careful when doing this for your network. If you have different configurations for your network, make sure you do the necessary steps for selecting here. But in this video, I would like to copy the settings of these two ports, two ER-7206 LAN ports in here, to all of the ports in here, from here up to the end. This one is actually a one port now. Okay, so click apply. Okay, so now that I have done that, I know for a fact that this one is also a one port, so I can move that cable over here as well. There you go. So move that one. So these are two one ports. These are all one ports as well according to my configuration. And all of these starting here up to here are all LAN ports. So let me click adapt. 831, click adapt. There you go. So in this particular setup, in the previous video, we were looking for stability in ping, like everything should reply properly, right? But this one, we should look for a more of a request time bound. So pinggoogle.com. So initially it will be okay, as you can see here. It's working its magic. Again, like I call magic because I don't really understand what's happening, but I don't know what's happening, but it's configuring in here. So what we're looking for in here is a consistent request time bound. So why do I say a consistent request time bound? It's because we know that we are changing into a new IP scheme. So basically what we want to do is say, hey OC300, tell the new gateway to change its IP into 192.168.1.1, but you are still using 192.168.0.100. Okay, and the same thing for your PC. This admin PC, I'm using 192.168.0.75. So right now what's happening is that the ER-8411, from what I can hear, just hearing it has rebooted. Okay, what we would like to see is a little bit of consistency with the request timed out. Okay, again, same thing like the previous one, maybe wait a couple or more minutes and see what happens. Okay, so we started at 8:31, it's now 8:33, but I still hear the device rebooting. Okay, so I say just give it a little bit more time. So you're not supposed to see anything new in here. Maybe here you might see heartbeat missed or device disconnected, and that's okay. So this one is adapt failed, that's okay. Disconnected, that's okay. That's to be expected. This is actually what we want to see while this one is still configuring, because these devices are still in the .1 IP scheme. Okay, they are still in the .1 IP scheme. So now the request time out has been there for 3 minutes. We see a reply. Okay. Okay, just waiting. So this is the real time. As you can see, I'm still there. You go. It has a request timed out, so that's good. We're waiting for a consistent failure. Okay, still waiting for that failed. There you go. Request timeout. Now we don't want to see the reply when we are doing this, because that means the the gateway is still what you call that, haven't changed its IP scheme. As you can see, there's adapting again, meaning the controller have seen the device and no, it was gone, then have seen it again. Okay, so we are really waiting for a consistent request timeout for at least a couple more minutes. Okay. So just wait here. So this real time waiting, I know it sucks, but then I wish there are better ways to see how this is being changed or modified. But this time, this is the best tool that I can show you on how I checked it. So this is what you're waiting for. Reply from your own IP. So this is your own IP. Before, if you notice the request time out, it's just a destination net unreachable and request time out. Hold on, let's see. So it started there, request timeout. But now you can see it's from your own device itself. So this is what you would like to see on your machine to happen. Okay, meaning it from your device you cannot even see it. It cannot even traverse the data out of your device. Okay, before it can still reach the gateway, but now not anymore. Is what it's saying here. Okay, you cannot even reach the device. So this one tells me that it's time for me to change the OC300 controller settings from 192.168.0.100 static IP to a new IP scheme. Okay, so let's go do that. So let's keep this window open. Okay, and again, to do that, go to global. Okay, go to settings, go to controller settings. So all you need to do is just change this part 1 and this part 1. Okay, and then click save. Again, once I click the save here, I will lose connectivity with the OC300 because my PC, this admin PC, is still using the 192.168.0 IP scheme. Okay, so let me click save. There you go. Now you can see this interface, but nothing will load because this is 0.100. Now, let's see here. That is to be expected. We still need to change our own IP scheme. So go to properties. Depends on your OS and how you do this, but you need to change this as well on your screen, on your static IP. Okay, so click OK. Okay, and then click OK. And now let's just open another window. And let's ping the controller IP 192.168.1.100. There you go. Okay, so it looks like the controller is already up, and as you can see, I can ping Google again. Okay, out of the box, as you can see here, google.com. All I have to do is go back to my previous controller. There you go. And we can continue the adaption here. Okay, once you go to your device controller, go to your site. As you can see here, there are several alerts. One LAN 4 is down because it has rebooted. One LAN 5 is down, it has rebooted. This is the time, okay, that we try to adapt it when we haven't changed the settings yet on the internet. Okay, so let's go to devices and let's see. So the switch is still configuring. Oh, it's actually connected now. So this one, you should have a stable reply. Yep, you should have a stable reply. So this one has gone much better. What this one tells me actually is that everything is connected now. Everything has stabilized, so we waited long enough for this one. But basically, the IP address has changed. All the devices are now up and running, as you can see here. Everything is connected. And let me do a quick check. Let me go to clients. This one I can connect. Okay, so refresh it. Okay, do I have internet? Yep, okay. There you go. CNN. Yep, looks like everything is working. Let me go to the logs just to check if I miss anything. So once everything is ready, everything is successful, you can check your settings again. In this particular steps, I usually check if I still have the DHCP reservations set, just because I'm going to change my OMADA into a DHCP. So it still says that I have the DHCP reservations reserved for this one, at least for the OC300, so that's okay. So my next step is actually just more of a clean up process. You don't really have to do this if you just want to set and forget that settings, but in my particular case, I would like to set my OC300 back to DHCP. Go to settings, go to controller settings, and as you can see, it still says static. I'll just go DHCP here and click save. Okay, and finally I'm going to make changes to my client, my admin PC, into DHCP, and I should be able to have internet still even if I'm on DHCP. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. I hope you learned something from this video. If you don't like this video, please give it a dislike. If you like this video, please give it a like. And I hope this one helps you migrate your system from your non-default IP scheme into a new gateway using a non-default IP scheme. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you and bye-bye.